Back to the breaking news. Gareth Southgate has quit as England manager after that Euro 2024. I was going to say disaster. It wasn't a disaster. We came second. Paul Coyte, is that a disaster?
The way we played wasn't great. It certainly wasn't a disaster. You can't lose a final and see a championship as a disaster. No. But I'm not at all surprised he stepped down. And I don't think this is just the fact of how England played, the fact that England didn't win it after 11 years in charge. It was time, and I think he knew that. I think the FA wanted him to stay. There's no question about that. They offered him a new contract until the end of the year. They would have been happy because he's very much an FA man. He's a decent man. He's the sort of person you want to run the country's football team. He's changed everything around England football, which has been magnificent. But the most important thing is how they do in championships. So obviously, World Cup didn't go as well as we'd hoped. We reached the final, we never won that. I think he would have walked away had we won it, even if we'd managed to beat Spain. I think he would have walked away. I think it would have been a moment, I've done this long enough, you know, I can now walk away with my head held high. It's the end of the story. But I think now this is just going to be another 2 years, one too many, and I think people are ready for him to move.
I felt sorry for him during this tournament because he had the England fans throwing, you know, beer cups at him and so on. But let's look at the record. The World Cup in 2018 dumped out of the semis against Croatia when arguably we should have at least made the final. OK, well, let me stop you, because dumped out of the World Cup in the semis, to get to the semi-final of the World Cup in itself is not an unimpressive thing to do.
We are England. We should be winning it.
Well, we should be, but we've been saying that for the last 58 years.
What was the route to that semi-final?
The route to the semi-final?
Can you remember the...
Oh, my goodness me, there's a real challenge.
Here we go.
You know what?
Let me tell you, we beat Tunisia. We scraped past Tunisia 2-1.
OK.
We beat Panama, mighty Panama, 6-1. Belgium, we lost 1-0. Colombia 1-1, and then we drew. We won on penalties.
Yeah.
Come on, getting to the semi-finals was a given, surely.
Okay.
And the nature of our defeat in that semi, we went 1-0 up. I think Kieran Trippier.
That's right.
In a spectacular free
kick.
And then in Gareth Southgate fashion, we sat back, we invited the pressure, he panics, the team panics, playing full of fear, and we lost.
Okay.
Same as the 2020 final, 1-0 up against Italy. We did the same thing, and arguably again on Sunday.
I'm not Steve Holland, firstly, so it's not my fault. But second, but I am going to come to this. As far as the results have gone, I don't think we have been good enough. And this is the problem, and I think this is the problem the public have had watching England play, and the frustration for all of us from what we've seen over these European Championships is... There's so much talent on the pitch, so much talent. Football is also changing as well. It's more an attacking game than it has been before. Gareth Southgate is suited to more of a defensive sort of setup. And whether he's actually managed to change his game... I mean, this is the thing. It upsets me when I see Harry Kane, the way that the stick that Harry Kane has taken. Harry Kane has been unbelievable in Germany this year, has scored 46 goals, and all of a sudden, how the hell is Harry Kane in this side? It's a matter of playing towards and also suiting the great players you have. We could go through the whole thing forever, but Southgate has done a lot for English football. There's no question about that, the way he's run it, and the whole mentality around England football team. It was in a terrible state when they lost against Iceland, and things have changed. Now, tactically wise, and when he's the man that's going forward, I think even he's now thought, you know what, it's now time for something new. And I think it's the right thing, and I think he can walk away with his head held high. I don't think there's any question about that.
Who's waiting in the wings, Paul?
Oh, my goodness me. So, I think we can look at all the names that are in there. Now, the first one we could go in for... How about Jurgen Klopp? Jurgen Klopp would be great, and I think people would be very happy with that, but that's very unlikely because he's very happy in Mallorca and he's billion-pound house, and he's quite happy to sit there. And I don't think the FA would want a foreign manager again. I don't think that's going to be the case. Same as Pep Guardiola. Too much money, £5 million on offer. Premier League managers are making around 20 million.
Arsene Wenger, get him back.
Arsene Wenger to Arsenal, so that's not going to happen. but we can look at, I think, the person. There's two really, and that's Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe he's sitting there at Newcastle, but then again, is he going to want to leave Newcastle? I doubt it. And Graham Potter is the other one. Now, Graham Potter, I think this is where the smart money's going to be. Forward-thinking manager, did very well at Brighton, didn't work out for him at Chelsea. England, safe pair of hands. You think he's very good with the press. He's a very liked person.
Hey, Graham Potter.
Graham Potter.
He's a really good manager. Good shout.
I think he's going to be the man. I honestly believe that the FA have not been caught. They've not been blindsided by this. They pretty knew. They must have known this was going to happen, and there's already been discussions going on.
Seeing the headline.